It was a social media post that tugged at the heartstrings of dog lovers in the Niagara region. A dog named Chewy was found wandering in a park last Friday in what the local Humane Society described as a deplorable condition. And while this story contains disturbing details, we can tell you that Chewy's health is improving and a number of people are committed to his care. Simone Gavros reports.
Chewy the dog, seen here, was found wandering around a park in Thorold early Friday morning. The Humane Society of Greater Niagara was called to the park to find the dog in terrible condition.
When we picked him up, we found that he was covered in mats, severely matted over his whole body. He had open wounds on his paws and they were filled with maggots. He had maggots in his eyes and at other parts of his body. It was just a terrible scene how deplorable his condition was.
Kevin Strooband says they're not sure how Chewy got to the park, but they've reported the cruelty case to the Provincial Animal Welfare Services to investigate. Ontario has the strongest provincial penalties in the country for animal abuse and neglect. People could face up to 2 years in jail, fines up to $130,000 for a first offense, and a lifetime ban of animal ownership.
There's a good chance that this dog was owned by someone in their home, neglected, and it just escaped.
He was then brought here to the Glenridge Animal Hospital, where he began his long road to recovery.
So he got a bath almost immediately. The other thing was to help his hydration status. So he was placed an IV catheter and rehydrated him as quickly as possible.
They estimate it will cost up to $10,000 to care for Chewy's injuries, but that won't be done until he's strong enough.
He may well need surgery on this foot. He does have an eye condition that will need addressing, as well as potentially a heart condition later on.
Strooband says all this medical care wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for donations from the public.
Typically, as a Humane Society, we can't afford this, but the public has really stepped up. So we're very hopeful that they'll continue to contribute so that we can make a difference in Chewy's life.
So far, the Humane Society of Greater Niagara says they've received nearly $5,000 in donations to help with Chewy and his care. Simone Gavros, CHCH News, St. Catharines.